Your sponsor presents the New York Yankees. Game of the Week. This week, direct from Yankee Stadium in New York, the Yankees versus Washington Senators. Hi, this is Ed Thorgersen, and here we are at the Yankee Stadium to watch the New York Yankees and the Washington Senators. In a moment, the action-packed game, but first, here's something worth looking into. And now we're just about ready to go with the Yankee Game of the Week. It's a bright afternoon here at the home of the champions, and this is the fourth game of a four-game series, with the Yankees having taken 2 of the 3 played. The defending world champions have now won 102 games and are driving to close the gap with the Cleveland Indians, who, by the way, are playing at Chicago today. Here are the lineups for both teams. For the Yankees, and batting in this order, Bauer in right field, McDougall at second, Mantle in center field, Berra catching, Skowron at first base, Serve in left field, Carey at third base, Coleman shortstop, and Burns pitching. For Washington, Oldus at third base, Runnels second, Vernon at first base, Busby in center field, Severs left field, Lemon right field, Fitzgerald catching, Snyder shortstop, and McDermott pitching. The veteran left-hander Tommy Byrne, back from Seattle in the Pacific Coast League, where he pitched good enough to win 20 games. Stengel, wants to win this game badly. He's after his 6th championship. The opening pitch of the game by Tommy Byrne to the Senators' leadoff batter Bob Oldus is a curveball, high outside, ball 1. Byrne works the count on Oldus to 3-2. Here's the pitch. Oldus flies to left. Bob Serve takes it for the first out of the game. Pete Runnels up next. He belts Burns' first pitch into left for a single, and Washington has its first base runner. Mickey Vernon, defending American League batting champion, is up there now. Mickey, one of the finest glovemen in the league, is tough for anybody, left-handers or right-handers. Mickey takes a strike. That's Hank Sorr calling the balls and strikes. Vernon, fooled by a curveball, pops it up. Bill Skowron at first today for the Yankees is under it. He has it. Runnels holds it first. Jim Busby, one of the fastest center fielders in baseball, comes up. Busby bats and fields right-handed. Now there's 2 out, and Pete Runnels on first. Byrne gets ahead of Busby. There's Roy Severs in the on-deck circle waiting to cut. Tommy Byrne looks to first. Now he delivers. Busby grounds one through the hole into left. Jerry Coleman almost made a fine play. Runnels holds at second as Serve rifles the ball into third, and Busby holds first. Now there are 2 out and 2 on, and big Roy Severs, the Washington left fielder, is up there. Severs today has 24 home runs and is a big threat any time he's up there with a wood in his hands. That's Andy Carey, young Yankee third baseman. Severs lifts a high fly to center. Mantle has plenty of time to get under it, and he takes it for the out. That retires the Senators in the top of the first. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Maury McDermott, one of the best left-handers in the league, is pitching for Washington. The young pitcher was acquired this year by Washington when he was dealt to them by Boston for Jackie Jensen. Hank Bauer is batting, while Gil McDougall, swinging some wood, is on deck. Bauer ties into one. It's going about 400 feet away, but Severs, with time to get under it, takes it for out number 1 in the bottom half of the first. Gil McDougall, who plays third and second base with equal facilities, stands in to face McDermott. McDougall, because of an injury to his foot, has been in and out of the lineup all year. Watch this boy with the unorthodox batting stance. Gil hits high down the right field line. Jim Lemon comes over. He's got it for the second out. Mickey Mantle, center fielder for the Yankees, fouls a pitch back to the screen. Yogi Berra on deck yells to Mantle to get hold of one. Mickey, in a slump, has had his average fall away to .298. Mantle drives one sharply down third and through on into left field for a base hit. Severs throws quickly into Snyder at short, and the Yankees have their first base runner of the game with Yogi Berra coming up. Berra, batting at .310, is leading the league with 124 RBIs. Yogi takes a strike, and he doesn't like it. Won't do you any good to argue, Yogi. McDermott pitches, and Yogi hits one into the hole between first and second, out into right field. Jim Lemon comes in and fields it quickly, holding Mantle at second. 2 on and 2 out as Big Bill Skowron, former Purdue fullback, and now one of the fine crop of Yankee youngsters, comes up. Big Moose is batting a very handy .322. McDermott looks back at Mantle at second and fires a strike past Skowron. Skowron hits one down to short and through on into left. Mantle scores easily as Seaver's throw holds Yogi at second. Skowron is on at first with a run-producing single, and the Yankees take the lead here in the bottom of the first, 1-0. Bob serves. Starting in left field today is the next batter. Big Bob is one of the strongest men in baseball. McDermott will have to bear down to get out of this inning. Serve hits one back through the box. Runnels fields it and steps on second for the force on Skowron. The third out, but the Yankees have scored 1 run on 3 hits, no Senator errors, and 2 Yankees left. In the Senator second, Jim Lemon, the big right fielder, leads off. He works Tommy Byrne for a walk on 4 straight pitches. With Lemon on first, Ed Fitzgerald, Washington catcher, coming up. Fitz swings at Burns' first pitch and sends it deep to right. Bauer goes back deep, almost to the barrier. He's got it. Lemon goes back to first. In there now is Jerry Snyder, playing shortstop with the Senators and former Yankee property. The count on Snyder goes to 1-1. Down to Coleman. Over to McDougald. Back to Skowron for the double play. No runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, and no one left on. The score at the end of 1.5 innings, Yankees 1, Washington nothing. In the bottom of the second, the Yankees will lead off with third baseman Andy Carey. Andy, just under the 300 mark, has had good luck against McDermott all year. And Carey continues to hit well against McDermott, sending that ball on a line into right field. The throw comes into second, and Carey holds it first with the Yankees' 4th hit. Jerry Coleman, who recently finished his second hitch in the Marine Air Corps, comes up to the plate. Coleman's having trouble with his hitting of late. There's a move to first. McDermott has a good motion to first, you know. He learned it from one of the old masters, Mel Parnell of the Boston Red Sox. The ball is slapped down to Terwilliger, over to Runnels. Carey's slide broke up that attempt at the double play nicely. Coleman is on first. Here's Tommy Byrne coming up. McDermott ready to pitch now to Byrne. He grounds to short, and Snyder is down. Shortstop Jerry Snyder is on the ground. Umpire Bill Grieve and third baseman Terwilliger go over. And now here comes manager Bucky Harris and Washington trainer George Lentz. There's Yankee coach Bill Dickey and trainer Gus March coming over. That ball was just a routine grounder that took a bad hop and hit Snyder in the forehead. That baseball really travels, you know. Now trainer Lentz helps Snyder to his feet. He's still a little groggy, but he'll be all right, just a bump. Wayne Terwilliger will move over to short, and Roy Dietzel, a young rookie, will take over at third. That's scored as a base hit for Tommy Byrne, with Carey moving to second. The score is 1-0 with the Yankees in front and threatening to get more. Hank Bauer will be the batter. The count on Bauer goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Hit back to the mound. McDermott's only play is to first. Byrne goes to second, and Jerry Coleman moves to third. Now with 2 out, here's Gil McDougald coming up to see what he can do about driving in a few more runs. McDougald fouls it back. That's Jerry Coleman coming down the line. Hit down to Terwilliger. Over to Vernon for the third out. For the Yankees, in the bottom of the second, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. Tommy Byrne working on his pitching opponent, Maury McDermott, also a good hitting pitcher. That's Gil McDougall at second base for the Yanks. McDougall to Skowron. 1 out for the Senators in the top of the third. There's Dan Topping and General Manager George Weiss in the official box. Wayne Terwilliger, now playing shortstop after Snyder went out, comes up. A pop-up. Skowron is under it. He has it for the second out. Pete Reynolds up for Washington with 2 out in the top of the third. Foul, strike 1. Mickey Vernon on deck. Serve will have to hurry, and he makes the catch. A pretty play by Bob Serve down around his shoe tops for the third out. For the Senators, no runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, and no one left on. At the end of 2.5 innings, the score is New York Yankees 1 and the Washington Senators nothing. In the Yankee third, it'll be Mantle, Berra, and Skowron in that order, and if anyone gets on, Bob Serve. Mantle has developed the ability of late to wait for his pitch. With his power and speed, he's a big threat up there and leads the Yankees in walks. He's singled to left his first time up. And Mantle leads off the third inning with a walk. That's first base coach Bill Dickey. Yogi Berra's the batter. Yogi singled to right last time up. He's been yakking at plate umpire sore all afternoon. A little sore at sore, so to speak. Down, boy. And Yogi strikes out. Now he claimed he foul-tipped it, but umpire Sore, of course, will have the last word. They always do. Yogi is looking for a little help now. This is only the 29th time that Berra has struck out this year. He leads the Yankees in that department with the least strikeouts on the club. Two out, 1 on, Mantle on first, and Moose Skowron, Yankee first baseman, is up there. Down to Vernon, unassisted. Mantle moves to second. Here's Bob Serve. Bob makes his home in Gunnison, Colorado. With a count 1-2, Serve pops it up, and Vernon takes it for the third out. That's all for New York in the third. At the end of 3 innings, it's Yankees 1 on 5 hits, no Washington errors. The Yankees have stranded 5. The Senators have no runs, they've had 2 hits, no Yankee errors, and they've left 2. In the top of the fourth, Mickey Vernon and Jim Busby go down 1-2, and that brings up left fielder Roy Sievers with 2 out. Bob Serve can't seem to find the handle. Sievers steams into second, a single and an error for Serve, enabling Sievers to go on to second. Jim Lemon, the batter, he's former Cleveland Indian property. A grounder to Carey, who tosses to Skowron, and the side is retired. In the fourth for Washington, no runs, 1 hit, 1 Yankee error, and 1 left. The score, Yankees 1, Senators nothing. Andy Carey, look out, Andy! 1 for 1 so far, had a single to right in the second. Carey draws a walk. That's the second walk given up by McDermott, and up comes Jerry Coleman. Andy Carey on first with none out. Coleman fouls it off. McDermott gives some hitters a lot of trouble. He has an involved motion and very fast. The ball comes at the batter off McDermott's right instep, and it's tough to follow. That's one reason why he's always up around the leaders in strikeouts. A fly ball. Jim Lemon under it. And he's got it. Carey gets back to first. That's third base umpire Jim Honachik. McDermott pitches to Byrne with the count 1-2. Tommy swings and misses for strike 3. He went after a bad pitch, and he's mad at himself. Tommy's one pitcher who loves to hit. Hank Bauer up now with 2 away, and Andy Carey still on first. Bauer is 0 for 2, and the former Marine is standing in with an average just below the 300 mark. It's a pop-up to Vernon at first, and the Yankees are down in the 4th with no runs, no hits, no Washington errors, and 1 Yankee left. Ed Fitzgerald, Senator catcher, leads off the Washington 5th. Fitz doesn't hit much for average, but he'll give the ball a good ride now and then. Fitzgerald makes his home in Sacramento, California. Call strike 3. Tommy Byrne is very sharp today. Roy Dietzel flies to Bauer in right field, and lefty Maury McDermott is the batter for Washington with 2 out here in the top of the 5th. Back to Tommy Byrne, who throws to Bill Skowron, ending the inning. At the end of 4 1/2, it's the Yankees 1 and the Senators nothing. Gil McDougall leads off here in the bottom half of the 5th. Gil is hitless today, having flied out and grounded to short his previous times up. Gil hits a hopper down to Reynolds. Over to Mickey Vernon at first for out number 1. The next batter, Mickey Mantle, belts a double off the left field barrier. 1 out, 1 on. Mantle leading off second. Yogi Berra comes up. He has 1 hit in 2 previous at-bats. He's been voted the all-star catcher for the last 6 years. Yogi is called by Casey Stengel his bread and butter man. With a count on Yogi, 3 balls and 1 strike, McDermott walks him. And now, with only 1 out, the Yankees are threatening. Mantle's on second as a result of a double. Berra's on first with McDermott's 3rd walk of the game. Moose Skowron up for the Yankees here in the 5th. The Yankees lead 1-0, and McDermott is in trouble. Skowron hits a ground ball down to Terwilliger. Over to Reynolds. Back to Vernon. It's a double play, and McDermott is out of the inning. For the Yankees, no runs, 1 hit, no Washington errors, and 2 Yankees left. The score at the end of 5 complete innings, Yankees 1, Senators nothing. Here's Wayne Terwilliger, Washington shortstop. The Twig came to Washington late in '52, having been with Chicago and Brooklyn in the National League. It's a base hit into left. Terwilliger's on first with a single. Hit number 4 for Washington. Pete Reynolds up for the 3rd time. He's singled to left in the 1st. The Yankee infield is playing in for the sacrifice. But it drops in for a base hit. Terwilliger is on second, and now the Senators are threatening with 2 on and none out. Tommy Byrne is in trouble. Mickey Vernon is the batter. He hasn't hit today, and he is overdue. Casey watching Byrne carefully. He might be tiring. 1 out. 2 out. A triple play. It's a triple play, the first triple play ever made at the Yankee Stadium. For the Senators in the top of the 6th, no runs, 2 hits, no Yankee errors, and no Senators left on. And now, through the magic of our Game of the Week camera, let's take another look at that play. Men on first and second, none out, and Byrne pitching to Vernon. Vernon swings. Skowron goes up, making a beautiful catch for out number 1. He runs over and touches first, doubling up Reynolds for out number 2. Terwilliger is just starting back to second. Skowron throws down to Coleman at second, just nipping Terwilliger for the 3rd out, completing the triple play. And with 2 on and none out, the Yankees come out of the inning unscored upon. What a day. Bob Cerv is first up from New York in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bob is 0 for 2 today. He batted .317 and had 22 home runs for Kansas City last year. It's a ground ball down to Terwilliger. Throws over to Vernon. The Twig almost lost it, but came up with it in time for the putout. Andy Carey is up now with 1 out and none on. Carey lined a single to right in the 2nd and walked in the 4th. With the count 3-1, McDermott loses him, and Carey trots down to first with his 2nd walk of the day. Hank Bauer is on deck. Jerry Coleman, Yankee batter. Jerry is 0 for 2. Jerry pops it back. Fitzgerald after the ball. He makes a nice catch. It was a twisting type of foul and could have been troublesome. Fitz made a nice play there. 2 out, and Tommy Byrne, up for the 3rd time, has had a single in 2 trips. McDermott fields it and throws Byrne out at first. Side retired. Now here's something worth looking into. Busby leads off in the 7th for the Senators in what has turned out to be a real pitching duel. Byrne gets Busby to fly to center, where Mantle takes it for out number 1. The next man, Roy Sievers, works Byrne for a walk. Jim Lemon comes up for Washington with 1 on and 1 out. It's fouled up and back. Yogi's chasing it. He almost slips, and he's got it for out number 2. Sievers holds first. Yogi made that one look a little tough, but he came up with it. He usually does. Ed Fitzgerald, the batter here in the 7th. Fitz flied deep to Bauer in the 2nd and struck out last time up. Fitzgerald lines to McDougall for the 3rd out. For Washington in the 7th, no runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, and 1 Senator left. The score at the end of 6½ is Yankees 1 and Washington nothing. And up here today, we're amazed at the excellent control that Tommy Byrne has displayed for 7 innings. He's been around that plate someplace with just about every pitch. Quite a contrast to the Byrne we've seen in the past. Bauer, the first man up, draws a walk. Gil McDougall comes up with 1 on and none out. Gil is hitless today, grounded out twice and flied to Lemon in right. McDougall hits a looper. It drops in for a single. Bauer, running on the pitch, goes all the way to 3rd, and that brings up Mantle. Men on 1st and 3rd, Mantle up. And Yogi Berra, Yankees' leading run producer, on deck. McDermott gets ahead of Mantle. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. A hard ground ball down to Dietzel, over to Runnels. The throw to Vernon is not in time to get the flying Mantle, and Bauer scores. McDougall is forced at 2nd, and the Yankees lead 2-0. That was Mantle's 102nd RBI. Yogi Berra is the batter with 1 on and 1 out. 1 run in. The count on Yogi is 1-1. And he belts one into right field. Mantle, showing his blazing speed, slides neatly into 3rd, and the Yankees have a rally going. Big Moose Skowron with 1 for 3 comes up. This is Bill's first year at first base, but he's handled that triple play like a veteran. It's a bounding ball to Terwilliger. Over to Runnels for the force on Berra. Back to 1st, not in time to get Skowron. And Mickey Mantle scores with his 2nd run of the inning, and the Yankees 3rd of the game. They now lead 3-0. Moose Skowron on 1st, 2 out, 2 in, and Bob Serve coming up to hit. He hits down to Runnels. Pete steps on 2nd, forcing Skowron for the 3rd out, but not before the Yankees have scored 2 runs on 2 hits. At the end of 6½ innings, it's Yankees 3 and Washington nothing. Roy Dietzel starts the 8th inning for Washington with a walk. Dietzel is a rookie in his 8th major league game. He's very fast. And now we're getting a pinch hitter for Maury McDermott. McDermott pitched a tough game. He gave up 3 runs on 8 hits and walked 5. It's Carlos Paula taking a strike. Paula's a tall, rangy outfielder. He makes his home in Havana, Cuba. And Paula strikes out. It's the 2nd strikeout for Byrne. Wayne Terwilliger up. He had a single in the 6th. That's Andy Carey charging the ball. Throws over to 1st in time to get Terwilliger. Dietzel moves to 2nd. The next batter, Runnels, draws a walk. With 2 on and 2 out, Mickey Vernon, representing the tying run, moves up to the plate. It's a ground ball down to McDougall, who fires to Skowron for the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, and 2 Senators left. The score here in the middle of the 8th is New York 3 and Washington nothing. Camilo Pascual, a Cuban right-hander with a record of 3 wins and 6 losses, making his 46th appearance of the year. He takes over now for Maury McDermott. He gets Andy Carey on a ground ball to 3rd and Jerry Coleman on 3 strikes. count here on Byrne goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tommy hits it back to Pasquale, to Vernon. No runs, no hits, no Senator errors, and at the end of 8 complete innings, the score is New York 3 and Washington nothing. Jim Busby faces Tommy Byrne to start the 9th. Jim has a single and 3 trips. Joe Collins replaces Skowron at first. The count on Busby goes to 2-1. Carey fields the ball and throws to Collins for the first out here in the top of the 9th. Roy Sievers hits one down the right field line in fair territory. Hank Bauer catches up with it. 2 out. Jim Lemon stands in. Jim is 0 for 2. It's strike 3 swinging. Tommy Byrne pitches himself a 5-hit shutout as the Yankees win it 3-0. Here are the totals of this Yankee game of the week. The Yankees beat the Senators 3-0. For the Yankees, 3 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, and they left 9 men. For Washington, no runs on 5 hits, no miscues, and they stranded 6. For Byrne, it's his 3rd win against 1 loss, and for Maury McDermott, his 15th loss, and he's won 7. Incidentally, this Yankee win eliminated Washington hopes of finishing in the first division. Final score of today's game, 3-0. Until next week, then, this is Ed Thorgersen saying so long for now for the Yankee Game of the Week.